Hi, my name is Rob Bell. I'm from Whitewater Farm in Stanford, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to show you how to make a strawberry panacotta. It's one of our simplest desserts, but it's one of the best desserts that we have on the menu. It's simple ingredients. It's cream, 750 mils. Then we've got milk at 250 mils. Then we add our frozen strawberries. So we have an organic garden on the farm, and we freeze a lot of our produce that we can use a little later in the year. Place the frozen strawberries into the mix, along with the sugar. Right, give that a stir. Right, and onto some heat. This is quite an important phase. What you don't want to do is boil your mixture. If you boil your mixture, you'll get what looks like separation within the dessert. So we try and keep it down to sort of 65, 70 degrees, just so it's more on the tepid side of warm. While we're waiting for the cream and milk to come to temperature, we're going to basically bloom our gelatin. We use 4 leaves of gold gelatin for this dish. And you just want to put it in some cold water, let it sit, soak that up. Okay, so about 6 minutes later, the creams and milk's not boiling as yet. So what we want to do is just remove that from the heat, bring that over to your workstation, place it down. What I've got here is a pre-prepared water bath, ice bath. So I've got ice in the bottom, another little bowl on top. What we're going to do is we're going to strain the mixture into the ice bath. Alright, it's nice and warm, but again, we didn't get a boil on it, so there should be no separation of the cream and the fats. What we want to do is we want to just use your whisk, smush some of the strawberries, get as much flavor out of them as possible. Once you've frozen them, they take on a completely different texture, and it's a lot easier to get flavor out of them. What we want to do is just use the ice bath to cool the mixture down. Before it gets too cool, what we want to do is you take your bloomed gelatin. So blooming means basically just to soften. So you take as much water out of that as possible. Right, place that into the warm mixture and give that a whisk. This will break down the gelatin even further. The moment you add heat to the gelatin, it'll kind of dissipate within the mixture. You want to just make sure that you've got no lumps. While we're waiting for the mixture to cool down, I'm going to explain why I use gelatin leaves versus gelatin powder. Gelatin leaves used to be very hard to come by. It was one of those products that you really had to be a chef to find, but you can now find it in most supermarkets, and it's the nicer product of the two. You don't have to melt it. You can use your water, and it's a lot safer structural wise. What you want to do is when your mixture is cooled down, place it into a nice big jug. Right, we use Dario molds in our kitchen. What you can use at home is a teacup with a round bottom. What we tend to use is a non-stick spray, so something like cooking spray, and you basically take your mixture, place it into each mold. What you've done by cooling the texture is helping move the gelatine setting process a little bit further, so you're not solely relying on your fridge. So what we do is we place the mixture in all the molds, and then we'll refrigerate this mixture overnight for about 24 hours. When we serve our panna cotta, we use biscotti crumb, which you'll find the recipe in the article. We crumb that around the edges, and then what we do is we dehydrate some strawberries. We usually use fresh strawberries. We slice them thinly on the mandolin, and we dry them out of the oven at a very low temperature, around 50 degrees Celsius. So you don't want them nice and crispy and full of flavor. I really hope you've enjoyed my tutorial today. We'll hopefully see you in our kitchen or on the farm sometime soon. And thank you for the time.